Brilliance Audio presents The Spitfire Girls by Soraya M. Lane, performed by Sarah Zimmerman. This is not a time for women to be patient. We are in a war, and we need to fight it with all our ability and every weapon possible. Women pilots, in this particular case, are a weapon waiting to be used. Hence, I'm speaking up for the women flyers, because I'm afraid we cannot afford to let the time slip by just now without using them. Eleanor Roosevelt, the 1st of September, 1942. Prologue. Texas, 1940. Lizzie. "Sweetheart, what are you doing in my office?" Lizzie looked up, pen poised above the words she so carefully written on the page. She smiled at her father as he collapsed into the armchair on the other side of the heavy oak desk. He always gave her the same look, as if they were co-conspirators in whatever she was working on, and today was no different. "I'm writing to Mrs. Roosevelt to explain how women could assist the military," she said, waiting for his eyebrows to shoot up in surprise, which they did almost immediately. "Would you like to hear it?" "You're writing to the First Lady?" he asked, shaking his head, his eyes twinkling. Her father was always humoring her, always ready to listen to whatever harebrained idea she might have. "Lizzie, we're not even at war." "Yet," she said. "We're not at war yet, Daddy." "Well, then read away." Lizzie cleared her throat and sat back in her daddy's chair, letter raised slightly in her hand. She glanced at the framed photo of him in his uniform before reciting the words, imagining herself doing the daring things he described to her ever since she was a little girl, the adventures in the air during wartime that he had so vividly recalled to her. "Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, as an avid supporter of women's rights, I write in the hope of your expert assistance. I have thought of many ways to start my letter, but in truth I'm a straight talker, and I want to get directly to the point. Although our country presently isn't at war, and I certainly hope it will remain that way, I want to be prepared to assist if required. Women can play a much bigger role in the event of war than nursing and supporting our men at home. As an experienced pilot myself, I believe women pilots could take over military flying jobs that don't involve fighting to allow male pilots to be released for combat service. Women pilots could successfully ferry planes for the military and conduct support
Sample complete. Ready to continue?